Hello, my friends. My name is Tiffany, and I'm super excited to have you joining me for another video today. Today, we are finishing up part 2 of this guest room makeover. I'm so excited. I'm actually editing in this room now. I cannot wait for you to see how it all turns out. Such a cozy space. Let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, today's video is going to be part 2 of this guest room makeover. So if you've missed part 1, I would highly recommend that you go back and check that out. I'll have it linked for you down in the description box. But in today's video, we're going to be decorating the guest room. So I'm just showing you here some things that I picked up. I'll explain where everything's from as we go. But we're going to get started by hanging this adorable window frame. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby and I love this color. It almost matches my floors identically. I don't know if you can see that down there, but it's just a really pretty natural oak color, and as usual, I'm going to be hanging this with command strips. Now, if you are not using command strips yet to hang anything, I would highly recommend that you try this out. It is so easy, plus it's not going to put a bunch of holes in your wall, and it literally takes minutes. It's so easy. So I just am adding these to this, like I said, window piece, and I am hanging it here on the wall, just kind of eyeballing it. And it isn't perfectly centered because I do plan on putting up curtains, but I love how these pieces are going to slowly start to warm up the space. And here's how it looks. As you can see, it's not perfectly centered, like I said, because I will be adding in some curtains, and I just love it. So now we're moving into the second piece here. This is from Michael's. This was from their spring line this year. It's really pretty. It's like a piece of embroidery that's been mounted onto this frame, and you can't really tell on camera, but the picture is like, I think it's roses. And again, I am just going to be adding some command strips here. You can purchase command strips pretty much anywhere. I've even bought them at the grocery store, but I typically buy them at Walmart. They can be a little bit pricey, but I bought 2 packages and was able to do the entire room with leftovers. So I'm adding this picture, this framed artwork here into this front door space, and front door to the room, but this will be a piece that you can see from my entire house every time you walk by, and it'll be the first thing you see when you're going into the room. I love this piece. I think it's so beautiful and warm, and I love the cozy feel it adds to the room. Next up, I am working on this little shelf that I have here. This shelf is from Hobby Lobby, and I actually have the exact same shelf in my master bathroom, but I love it so very much. And like I said, it's in my master bathroom. Nobody else really sees it except for Danny and I and my kids, my little kids, but my guests aren't really going to be hanging in my bathroom, and so I purchased another one so I could put it in a space that it would be seen more often. And that's here in the guest room. So I'm also adding this framed artwork from Hobby Lobby that says "Just Pray." It's a whole wood piece, and it's absolutely beautiful. We had it in our master bedroom back in Las Vegas, and to be honest with you, I forgot that I had it until my mother-in-law found it in her shed. We have things just kind of everywhere from when we were staying there while our house was being built, but I think this is a perfect space for it, and it's absolutely beautiful. Moving along to the bed, I am going to be working on getting some bedding onto this bed. So I had mentioned in my previous video that this bed here is from Yahi Tech. We purchased this on Amazon. I'll have it linked for you down below. And I actually have this exact same bed upstairs in my big boy's room, in Aiden and Ronan's room. They share, they each have their own, but theirs is black. And I really, really like this bed. It's very sturdy, and it doesn't require that you have a box spring, which I really like because it's just something else that you have to buy. So it saves you money. And I don't know, I just think it's really nice. I like the vintage feel that it brings. So back in the day when I was first living on my own, I was obsessed with shabby chic. Do you guys remember that trend? I think nowadays you'd probably call it cottage, but I was obsessed with everything shabby chic. I loved all white and pink and roses and everything floral. And that's kind of what this room gives me the feeling of, is a mix between shabby chic meets cottage, meets cozy bed and breakfast. And I just wanted it to be a really warm and inviting space for guests, and a place that I enjoyed spending time in for editing. And I am obsessed with how it turned out, you guys. This bedding that I have here is also from Amazon. It was extremely affordable. I paid $60 for this, and it does come in other colors. When I initially purchased it, I got it in like a khaki color or a linen color because I thought I was going to do the walls all the board and batten white, but then I decided to flip it around. So I did return that and I got the white, and I'm so glad that I did. It's gorgeous. I did wash it before I put it here on the bed. It did kind of crinkle it up a little bit, so just be careful with that. But for $60 you are getting what you paid for, but this is a guest room. The bed isn't being slept in every single day. I didn't want to spend a ton of money. And then that blanket that I have underneath it, the brown blanket, that's from Walmart. It's just a fleece blanket to add a little bit of warmth, but I just think it turned out really, really beautiful. So this bedding set did come with 2 shams. So I purchased all 4 of these pillows from Walmart. And like I said, the shams came with the set. So these 2 pillows here came with the comforter, the shams did, and then the other sheet set I also got at Walmart. So that's the closest thing to me when it comes to buying those types of items. So the Target is further away, and Kohl's is further away, any of that stuff. So I just get it at Walmart. And this is the next day. I filmed this over 2 days after work, and I am adding in this little wreath. It's actually like a vine that's rolled up, but I added a little bit of command strip to it and put it up there on the picture just to give it a little bit of green and to warm up the space a little bit. And then I am adding a throw pillow here from Walmart. This is actually one of their outdoor throw pillows, but it was only $13, so I felt like it was really affordable. Throw pillows can be kind of pricey, so. And now we're moving over to the section by the door. So this wall over here is kind of tricky. It's really long. I didn't really know what I wanted to put on the wall over here. I didn't want anything to have to take up too much space, but I did have this accordion hanging rack with the pegs in my closet. I had originally purchased it for my husband to hang his hats on it, but really was not doing the job. And so we're gonna move it over here into the guest room, and I'm putting it over here by the door so that way guests can hang their coat on it, or a hat on it, something like that. So again, I'm using command hooks. However, this time I'm using command strips. I'm using the ones that are good for up to 20 pounds so that people can hang something on it. So that's why I use the little bit of bigger ones. And I just purchased that hat from Walmart literally a couple of days ago. I bought it for the boat. And the Meet Me at the Market bag, I'm not sure where I got that. I've had that for years and years and years. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to get this faux eucalyptus in here. This eucalyptus is also from Walmart. I purchased it in their faux floral section. And I think it's a really nice piece of faux floral. But I'm adding in just an old towel into the bottom of the bag just to kind of fill it, give it some weight. And then I decided that I would fan out the eucalyptus to really fill up the bag instead of having it leaning out the side. It just gave the bag a fuller feel and, filled the space a little bit more. But I love this little vignette right here. It's so pretty. It screams spring and summer and just that cottage feel, and it's just so pretty. Okay, so next up is for probably my favorite part of this entire guest room makeover, and that is the dresser. Do you guys remember what this looked like? I should have added a before and after right here, but I am obsessed. So my original plans for this dresser was to paint it this really beautiful grayish green color called Mouse's Back by Farrow and Ball. My cousin Susan actually has it in her front room at her house, and it's gorgeous color. I'm definitely going to be using it somewhere in my house. But when Danny started sanding this down for me so that I could paint it, we realized it was real wood and underneath was beautiful. And so he took off all the hardware for me. And while I was working on all the other parts in the room, painting and everything, he was sanding this down for me. So God bless him. He did such a beautiful job. I didn't want to paint it after I saw. He's like, the second I started doing this, I realized my wife is going to see this and she is not going to want to paint this. He was like, I'm not even sure if I want to show her because she's going to want me to do all this sanding. But honestly, it did not take him very long at all. He just used a power sander with a 60 grit sandpaper. And then, you go back in with like a 220 just to kind of smooth it out. There are lots of different ways that you can remove varnish or stain from furniture. Things are all over Instagram and YouTube. I've done it multiple different ways, but I find sanding to be the fastest and easiest, to be honest. And it comes out just really beautiful and smooth. So I have not sealed this wood. You can go back and cover it with like a polyurethane, and that will darken the color or make it a little bit more red. But since this is not in a high traffic area and it's not going to be wet, I didn't feel the need to seal it. And as you can see, it's not perfect. The corner there was broken. I didn't want to fix it. I like that it's broken. I didn't want him to remove all of the stain or varnish just because I liked that, it looked like an older antique piece of wood, even though it's definitely not. And I purchased this dresser along with the dresser in my bedroom, the one that I keep saying I'm going to paint, for $30 on Facebook Marketplace, both of them. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that other one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring myself to paint it when I know that this is underneath. Stay tuned. But now we're adding hardware. So I follow this woman. I think she's an interior designer. I follow her on Instagram. Her handle is Farmhouse, I believe. I'll have it for you down below. I'll have to look it up. But I saw her in her kitchen where she had 2 holes to put a cabinet or drawer pull, but she did 2 knobs side by side, and I just thought it was such a fun and unique way of adding hardware to the drawers that was different and unique. And so I decided to do that in this space here. And I am adding some crystal knobs that I purchased on Amazon. They were extremely affordable. I'll have them linked for you down below. They're nothing fancy. They're definitely, an affordable little knob, but I just think they're so pretty. And I wasn't sure how this was going to look. It's definitely, more shabby chic or cottage than what she did in her kitchen, but I am living for this, you guys. I just think it makes this piece look so beautiful. It's something different. It's not something you see all the time. And, I could have filled the holes and drilled new ones like I did on the buffet upstairs, but I love these. I just think they're so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and take some time to get these on all of the drawers in this dresser, and then we'll move on to decorating it. mentioned in a previous video that this is where I keep the tray that I have for my outside table. I keep it here in the guest room so that way when the weather is not nice or it's windy, I don't have to worry about it out there. And when we have friends over, I can just grab it and take it out. And it works out perfectly. So it stays decorated and I just have to grab it. And now it just lives right here on this dresser and adds some pretty decor in here as well. And I'm adding in that ivy plant. That is real. That's a plant that I had in my living room. And I found that cute little Wi-Fi sign from Walmart. You can find it in the home decor section in the center of the store, like over by where they have the picture frames and things like that. And then that little Get Cozy house is from Hobby Lobby. I've had it for several years. And this little glass jar is something I purchased on Amazon. I recently was looking for a new, it's a soap dispenser, and it's called an oil jar, something like that. And the top lid actually fit the glass jar that I already had, so I decided to keep this jar because I thought it was really pretty, but it's much smaller, but I figured I could use it for florals. So I added a little cupcake stand underneath my pot just to give it some height, and some faux florals into that little glass jar just to complete this look. I will fill out my Wi-Fi information off camera, but above this is where I plan to mount a TV. That's why we're leaving that section open. Moving on now to some curtains. These are very similar to the curtains that I put in my living room. However, these are made of cotton. They're sheer cotton instead of I don't know what the other ones were made of. Linen maybe? I'm not sure. These are a little bit thicker, a little bit more appropriate for a bedroom, if you will. However, it is the same rod. So these rods are extremely affordable. This one here is a little bit bigger than the one that I put in the living room, but it was like $15. And I don't know, I just think it's nice. I think it's, it does the job. It's the same one I have upstairs in my boys' room. And then I'm adding a smaller one here to the smaller window. Sorry for this lighting, but the sun was right in the front of my house for this time of day. So that's what we get. But there's something about adding in a really pretty sheer curtain that doesn't eliminate light, but it just brings a softness to the room and a finished look, and just looks really, really pretty. And finally, we're going to be decorating the desk, and I'm starting off with this riser that I purchased at Hobby Lobby several years ago, and I'm now using this glass candle jar. This is actually pretty cool. One of my dance mom friends, she finds the coolest items in her lawn, things that used to be buried when there was no recycling, and she gave that to me, and I love it. It has a beautiful cross on it, so I'm just putting some faux stems in there from Target, and then I have that jar, that demijohn, that's from Hobby Lobby with some lamb's ear, and then that little welcome to our home sign is from Michael's. Again, that's from the same spring line, and here's the close-up. You can see how beautiful, all the beautiful details on all of these things. I thought that welcome to our home sign was perfect for the guest room, and this just looks so warm and inviting. And here's a little look at the view out of the window, and once we have grass, it'll just be so beautiful. So although this desk is falling apart, it is not going to live here forever. I am on the hunt for a beautiful antique stationery desk that I can put in here. But for now, it does the job, even if it is broken. But here is the final look of the office / guest room. It's got a beautiful cottage bed and breakfast feel, and I can't wait for my mom and my friends and our family to come and stay here and have a warm and cozy place to visit. So thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and I'd love to have you subscribe to come back for more. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and hopefully I will be seeing you in the next one. Have a wonderful day, my friends, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.